Hey, what's the crack? This is Oliver Keane Motion Design, and today I'm going to show you blending modes inside of After Effects. So we're going to come here to After Effects, and I'm going to go to my project panel right here, and I'm going to actually give you some footage to download again on this video. So if you go underneath this video, see a link below, you can download this footage that I'm about to show you, or even use footage that you want to use yourself. So I've used these pieces of footage before. This is basically Flowers Bloom and Oliver Keane Motion Design logo animation. Just drag these straight into After Effects. Once you download them, come in here, drag them into your project panel. Quite easy really. There you go. And your Flowers Bloom footage right here, I'm gonna right click on it and go new comp from selection, and then I'm gonna drag my Oliver Keane Motion Design logo underneath, and then I'm gonna trim my composition to my Oliver Keane logo animation. So I'm gonna drag this up so I can see it. If you come here, I hold down shift, drag it to the end of where that is, and press N, and then come up here composition and go trim to work area. And then if you play this back, you're gonna have sound. Turn that off by clicking two of these, and you'll see my logo animation in here. There you go. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start playing around with blending modes now. And what I'm going to do is get my Flowers Bloom footage and drag that actually back on top so I can see it for a second. And I'm going to remove the fade at the start. So if I drag along here to my fade and just click this side here, when you see these little arrows pop up, drag that along and hold down shift at the same time so it snaps to my playhead, and then just drag that back so it's just properly over here, you know, see there. And you can see I trimmed a bit of this by an accent up here as well, so just like trim that back until you have it the full length of this video. And blending modes is basically how you mix two pieces of footage together or two layers together. You can see this Flowers Bloom footage here, okay? But what if I want this footage to be mixed with my Oliver Keane Motion Design logo? So it's very easy to do that actually. So if you see here, I have all these like toggles and stuff here, but you actually can toggle your switches and your modes. So see, these are the switches right now, and if you click this one, we'll go to your modes. So your modes here, these are the blending modes. So you see here, right here, if you press, so like this one at top, I'm gonna set this one right now to screen, okay? And when that goes to screen, you can see when my animation plays now, it has the Flowers Bloom right in there, see? I'm gonna set this to fit so we can see, okay, what's going on. So there you go, look, see, it's inside, see? And then you can play around with these modes. It's very easy, you don't have to play around with it, you know? So if you go to overlay, you can see it's slightly in there now as well. And then if you go add, you know, you can see more of it. You know, you can just play around with these until you get exactly what you want. So darken does something different. You can see my OK is in there, and then like, you know, you can just keep playing around with it until you get what you want, you know. See, some of them you won't see it at all. You might get some of the color values from it, but like that's with the footage on top. So like if I go normal, go back to normal, you can see here, and right now you can see it's this piece of footage is not really filling up this whole frame. So what I'm going to do is come back up here to Flowers Bloom. I'm going to duplicate it, go Command D, okay? So we get like a number 2 of it, and then double click, left click it, I'll open it up in the editing window here. And what I want is I want one of these other flowers to be inside of my Oliver Keane animation. So if we drag along, I want this pink one. See this nice pink one right here? So this one here. So if we click this one here, your in point, and then come here to your last point right there and go your out point, and then just drag this over here, okay? And then I'm going to delete the one underneath because I don't need it anymore. And then if I press the sound off, and you can see this footage actually is a tiny bit, I don't have enough of it basically here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to left click, and I'm going to go time, and I'm going to go time stretch. I'm just going to stretch it by 120 so I get actually enough of it here, see, so it doesn't trim off. So there you go, we have our footage here. And then I'm just going to get my Oliver Keane logo animation, okay, and I'm going to go to say around there, so we have most of it here. And I'm going to set this mode at the top to overlay. You can see you can have it like, you know, inside now. So you have some of my logo animation right inside, or you can have like soft light. You can play around with a lot of these, you know, and you can also stencil your alphas as well. So if I go stencil, so you can basically stencil that on top of here, stencil silhouettes and stuff. There's a lot of stuff you can do, you know what I mean? Like, and if I press C, I go silhouette Luma, so basically we'll show it at inside. But yeah, you can just keep playing around with this until you get like the look that you want. You know, you can set it to screen and so on. This is just showing you blending modes. You see there now, right now, my logo animation has that footage inside. It'll look a bit different because I'm doing screen and it's taking the color values from my logo animation. So like, you know, if I turn off this right now, to normal, you see like the blacks are picking up different things and so on. You can do difference as well. You know, like this makes funky stuff, you know, like if you want to do some funky animation and stuff, and like, you know, you can really play around with the blending modes and see what you can do with it, you know. But this is just showing you like blending modes really quickly, you know. It's not really anything crazy, but yeah, if you need some, like, screen is a good one for, like, you know, if you like, what I'm going to do right now is just put this to normal, okay, and just turn off my footage at the top, okay, and then I'm going to actually get some text. So if I come up here to our text tool here, and if you double click on it, okay, and use whatever font that you have on your machine, I have it set to white, and I'm just going to call this blend. So there you go. So I'm going to blend, okay, and then if you go to your align tool and make it centered up and then in the middle, there you go. And with the blend, so I'm actually going to delete my logo animation because I don't need it anymore. With this blend, okay, what I want to do is I want this footage to basically be inside of the text. So if I come here to see mode right here and go stencil alpha right there, you can see now my footage is right inside the word blend. See, it's very easy. You also, if you come here, and you can also go up here to modes again, come over here to this section here and go overlay, you can see like it has a bit of the word blend in there over the footage. And then if you go soft light, you can just basically play around with these until you get the, you know, desired look. Some of them won't, like, because this is basically, this text is white, so, you know, it works with values and so on, but that's using with a bit of text, and you can use it to stencil and so on. And if I turn off blend, okay, and instead of doing it that way, I'm going to delete a blend. I'm going to basically duplicate this. I'm going to duplicate this piece of footage again, so duplicate that, okay, and I'm just going to drag it back here, okay, to the next scene in this. So I'm going to keep dragging it back, and then I'm going to basically extend this out a bit, okay, until we get to the next piece of footage. That is this one. Actually, I don't really like that piece of footage, so yeah, I'm just going to, until we get like a nice piece that we want. So we want this one here, okay. So now right now we have, just extend it a tiny bit more, we have on top of each other two flowers, okay, and I wanted these to be together, you know, so it look like it's like a new scene, and it looks really cool and funky and so on. So if we come here to mode, okay, and set this to screen, so you'll get the two flowers coming on at the same time. You can get this really nice, you know, effect, okay, and just play around with, you know, what you want, you know. It depends on like the footage, to be honest, what these work with. So like if you set this to multiply, you'll get some cool stuff as well. See, you'll get like almost like a projection mapped looking flower on another flower, you know what I mean? It looks really cool. So if you turn that off, see, it looks like that normal, but then you have this on top. So multiply is a good one to use because it just basically can layer stuff on top of each other, and screen's a good one as well. So yeah, just play around with these, and like you can do some funky stuff. So like you can get the color values on this one, so the colors that are used in this one to come through on black and white footage of this one. So yeah, it's a very like easy thing to do, and play around with it a lot, you know. And one thing I would recommend, and is a really cool thing to do, take some footage on your phone of yourself talking, okay, like in front of, say, like a white background or something like that, okay, and then record some footage of like your girlfriend, your mom, or anything like that, okay, and basically layer them on top of each other, okay, and start playing around with the blending modes on top, you know, and see what happens. You know, you can get some funky stuff, because like a lot of people use these for like VJ loops and so on, so you get like, you know, some funky stuff going on. So yeah, that's like really quick tip really, and like this is more of a tip than a tutorial really, like showing you how to use blending modes. And it's just, blending modes are just really handy, because then you can do some funky stuff. So yeah, if you get two pieces of footage, like I said, I gave you this flower blooms footage and my Oliver Keane logo animation, and basically you just take them, put them on top of each other, you know, pick two different sections of this video, and then just play around with, you know, the blending modes, you know, because then you can get different types of styles and so on. Like the ones I normally use are overlay and screen and multiply. They're like my main ones. So screen is a good one, and then multiply is a good one too. See, so you get like, the multiply is like the one that I like most, because it almost looks like the projection mapping, like I said, and you can basically get some nice values in there, you know. So there you go. That's a really simple and quick way of showing you blending modes inside of After Effects. And in my next tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use adjustment layers inside of After Effects. So see you guys in that next tutorial. Bye bye.